Vince here with Fishnetics. I thought I'd show you guys my little weekend project. It is the first weekend in December, and there is no safe fishable ice anywhere within a few hours of here. We have a cold blast coming this next week. I can't ice fish this next weekend, but the following weekend I'll be on ice, and it should be thick enough for ATV and snowmobile travel. So I'm going to show you the mods that I did to my snowmobile this year so I can run and gun all over the lake. So this is my old Yamaha Venture 600. It's a 2-up. I got this a few years ago and I've been tinkering with it ever since. So I'm going to kind of show you my setup. So number one, it's not purely electric start, which I like. That's one of the problems with some of the four-wheelers out there. If it's super cold out, you might get stuck with a dead battery. I can at least pull start this one. So I mounted my HELIX 7 on the dashboard. It is currently getting power off of the battery. I had a loose connection on that rig up last year. And the other change I did this year was I'm mounting my HELIX off of the handlebar. Now I do have a shorter ram mount for it, and I just gotta find it, but for right now I'm using the tall one. So coming to the back, now I had a real small like a small section for hauling some cargo back here. What I did was I found an antique wooden box, and I'll show you the hinge on it lately. It was about the right size. It fits real nice into the back. So I have my antique box with 2 milk crates mounted off either side, and in those milk crates I got 5 or 6 gallon buckets. I can put whatever else I want in them. I have a ram mount back here that I mounted to the back of the box. Now, one of the things I liked about this box was the hinge was not on the edge. There's about a 3-inch lip that I could mount this to. Now, here's one of the disadvantages of the ram mount. This year I got the Strike Master Light Flight. It's great. It connects straight up here, but the shaft of it's a little bit bigger and it doesn't fit in real snug here. I mean, granted, that's really tight. I don't think anything's going to happen to it, but just something to be cognizant of. So I got a 5-gallon bucket full of tip-ups. Over here I got one full of tip-downs. Now when I go out, I usually go either tip-ups or tip-downs. So this one is usually my hole hopping bucket. I got a seat for on top of it. My minnow bucket fits inside of it. So let's go to opening the box. So inside of here I got a bunch of small tackle boxes. Those are my tip-up, tip-down rigs. They're all rigged up with a leader, either monofilament or steel if it's my pike rigs, with a swivel on the end which connects to a snap on my tip-ups or tip-downs. This way I can swap my rigs real easily. I got my Vexilar in there, which is my favorite hole hopping rig, and then I got my Milwaukee drill, which goes with my Light Flight, and then I got some big pieces of foam just to kind of keep stuff from bouncing around. I got to get another piece of foam to stick it in here yet, to keep my Milwaukee drill safe, and I'll probably stick another one back here. That way it can move around a little bit, but it'll be totally safe. So then we back away. I bought one of these clam rod mounts. Everything's evenly paced. I usually run with 4 rods outside. Now last year I had milk crate on my strapped to the back seat of my 2-up. 2 disadvantages to that. Number one, I couldn't have another person on my snowmobile with me, and number 2, I had my rod mounts off to the side. And one of the things I learned, that if there's snow or there's blowing snow going on, it's getting caked into my reels and my reels would freeze up. So one of my goals this year was to mount my rod mount off the back of my sled to keep them a little bit more protected from the elements. Now, one of the things I do need to do yet is I'm going to have bungee cord that's going to run across here and connect over to here, which is going to keep my rods from bouncing out. And I'm also going to have bungee cords going over the top of the 5-gallon buckets, and down underneath is where we can attach any one of my 2 shacks to. So this is the rig I got for running around the lake this year. One of my goals is all the stuff that I don't want bouncing around because it's got hooks, or it's my tip-ups, or it's my ton of my tungsten lures. I wanted to have them on my sled so they don't bounce around as much and get all tangled up in my shack. Also, because I do like to run and gun, I don't spend a ton of time in my shack. I wanted everything at my fingertips. I hope you guys like it, and I hope it inspires some of you guys to mod out your ATV or your snowmobile.